I have a hook that seems to go viral on every single video I make. I'm freaking obsessed. I think I started at about 130 followers and it took me 3 weeks to get to that 1,000. So I was just so excited. I was trying to be consistent every day. And I did see cakes, silicone covers. So I made a quick video on that. It was very cringe. That one ultimately went viral. I think I made $200 one day. This is crazy. I feel like where a lot of people go wrong is ordering too many samples.
How much GMV have you generated as a TikTok shop affiliate?
I hit my 2 million at the end of November.
All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to TikTok Shop Affiliate Academy, a podcast that uncovers the story and strategy from the top 1% of TikTok Shop affiliates. We have a very special guest today. Her name is Dana. She is a mom, a stay-at-home mom with 3 kids. And she started doing TikTok Shop as a creative outlet, sharing mom content and all that good stuff. But it turned into something pretty amazing. She specializes in shoppable videos and has generated a total of about over $2 million of lifetime GMV. And yeah, that's it. Welcome to the show. Hi, Dana. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Yeah. So as we talked about pre-show, this is gonna be a kind of bunch of questions, just asking about your story, how you found TikTok Shop, how you excelled in it. But yeah, I always like to start with, what were you doing before TikTok and TikTok Shop?
So I became a stay-at-home mom 6.5 years ago. Prior to that, I was a caseworker with the county working with people of poverty.
Yeah.
And when my 6-year-old was born, we just figured it was time for me to stay home. So when I stayed home, I just always felt like I needed a purpose, but I didn't really know what that purpose was. And then I actually started a small business doing t-shirts. And I did that for about 2 years, and it kind of just got overwhelming and too much work for what I was making. And then I stumbled upon TikTok, and I just happened to go to Sam's Club one day and find a couple pairs of shorts and a shirt. And I was like, I'm just going to post this on TikTok, and literally had no thought into it at all. And that video blew up. I think it's got 400,000 views in a couple of days. So I was like, oh my gosh, like maybe I can do this. And then I posted another video, and that one went kind of viral. And then I just kind of kept posting. And then I stumbled upon a TikTok Shop video that said once you got to 1,000 followers, you could get into TikTok Shop. So that was kind of my goal. So it took me 3 weeks to get, I think I started at about 130 followers, and it took me 3 weeks to get to that 1,000. And then actually on the 4th of July, I got into TikTok Shop.
Wow. Okay. So you were creating TikTok Shop content before you were even a TikTok Shop affiliate. Is that correct?
For a
little bit. Yeah, mm-hmm. For a little bit. And then when you created that initial content, you didn't know you wanted to be a TikTok Shop affiliate, right? You just kind of wanted to do some social media, like, hey, I bought this. This is how it looks, I feel, or
yeah. And I also just I kept seeing this whole mom talk and how great of a community there was with moms. So I kind of just wanted to find a community on TikTok. And so that's why I started sharing just daily mom content.
Nice. Okay.
Into TikTok.
I love it. Okay. So mom content started, and then the first, one went viral, and that happened to be showing off some clothes, right? And that's actually your specialty at the moment. After looking at your profile, there's a ton of clothes and modeling them and selling them. And then so that went viral as far as views. And then you just kind of saw that and you're like, oh, this is awesome. And then kind of made the connection of seeing TikTok Shop where you can get paid for those views, right? Or paid for those views and sales. And then you got on with like a special, 1,000 creators you were, selling on there. So, okay, awesome. So that's crazy that like the first pieces of content that you made went viral, right? Not a lot of people have that. Like, do you know why? Like, do you have a marketing background? That's typically what happens, or a sales background, or like just natural?
No, my husband works in sales, so I kind of like hear bits and pieces from him and how he's used to
talking.
Yeah. But so I kind of, yeah, I just honestly put my phone up and made a video. I think it even got cut off at 60 seconds and I just uploaded it. It
And
was
then it went viral
an
anyway. Okay.
awful video, but I think because it was a Lululemon dupe, I didn't say that, but I was like, it's a lookalike. I just think that kind of pulled people in, and it was under $15. So I think I
Like
just got people who like dupe.
it was a hot topic at that point, right? Because I know my wife buys or has seen videos of like Lululemon, right? She has a bunch of Lululemon, but like of course you're gonna, if there's something just as high quality for a lot cheaper, you're gonna want to know about it, right? So you're riding that wave.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, cool. So now you had that success and then you're now a TikTok Shop affiliate. Talk me through those first videos. Like you made TikTok Shop videos. Were they successful? Were they not? What were those first videos like?
So I made a couple. I was slowly getting samples.
Okay.
And other than that, I was kind of just looking for stuff around my house to
Mm-hmm.
make videos on. And then I actually had a stroller that happened. They just launched it on TikTok Shop, but I'd been using it for about 6 months. So I just made a video on it, and then they actually sent me the upgraded one. So I was able to review that. And I think that one, I think I made one sale from that, but
Yeah.
I mean, it was like $40.
It could have been 1,000 sales,
Yeah.
right? Because it just opened your eyes.
So I was just so excited. I made one sale from that. And then after that, I was kind of just posting here and there. I was trying to be consistent every day. But then I did see Cakes silicone covers were on TikTok Shop, and I had been wearing those for months. So I made, again, a quick video on that. It was very cringe, but I made the video, and that one ultimately went viral. And that was my first real viral video. And I think I made $200 one day, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so proof of concept, if you will. How long ago was this? I forgot the.
So that was August of 2024.
Okay. So, 2024. So over a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So you've been in it for a little bit. Okay. So August of 2024, you've been doing it for a while now. And then you said you got accepted in July, so that you kind of hit the ground running a little bit and had some initial success. Okay. So like all people on TikTok Shop, like there's ups and downs, right? You have those moments of like, hey, this is a money printer. I could do this with my eyes closed. And yeah, but then there's also times where it's like, man, I'm posting these videos and I'm not getting any sales. So like, what are some of those kind of challenges that you saw or that you've experienced? When was that?
Yeah. So when I first started, so I did actually have 2 videos go viral in August.
Okay.
And I had another video go viral in September. So I was pretty much making money consistently on 3 products. So August and September, I think my first month was 6,000 I made in commission. And then it was 8. And then come October, it went, I mean, I still made, I think, $3,000, but to go from 8 to 3, it was kind of just like a kick, but I was still consistent. But the thing I wish I would have done to begin with is when I had that viral video to keep making videos on that product.
Yep. Repeating that same viral video. So
because that I missed out on so much money because I did not do that. And I had the companies asking me to make more videos. And I was like, okay, like, yeah, I'll make one more.
So you only made one video and that's what went pop, or maybe 2 videos, right? Since I asked you, but like, why do you say you would have done that? Like, what would you today have done? Made 5 videos, 10 videos, milked it till it was dry? Like, you have one viral video and then what are your next steps?
So right now, when I have a viral video, I try to post about it every single day.
Wow. Okay. I love it.
Sometimes it's every other day. Sometimes it's a couple days in between, but I'm really consistent on posting my viral videos.
Yeah.
The products.
Okay. And then viral video, you're reposting it. How much are you like trying to post the same video 100%? How much are you deviating from that or changing? Like, what are your thought processes? Are you posting the same exact video? Like, what does that look like as far as reposting?
So I usually when I film a video, I will make 3 to 5 videos just right there. So they're normally pretty similar, and I have a hook that seems to go viral on every single video I make. I don't know what it is, but
Okay.
and that's I'm freaking obsessed with this. And then I go
Okay.
into why I like it. And it makes people mad that I say obsessed. That's a big trigger word for some people to comment. But I feel like a lot of my content is the same.
Okay. So naturally you're making roughly the same content. And when you say you're repurposing a viral video, it's roughly the same because all your content's roughly the same anyway. Is that correct?
Yes, and I will
Okay.
sometimes reply to comments
Okay.
in a video on that
Nice.
product. But I always, one thing I see a lot of people make the mistake of doing is when they are replying to a comment, say like someone asks what color it is or something. They
Mhm.
reply with just the color, like they're like, this is brown. And then,
Mhm.
but what I found is I found more success for doing is you just make the whole video again, and then you just make sure to answer that question.
Okay. Okay. I love that. Okay, so not just and then when you answer, oh, you just make a whole new video based on that question that you're asked, and that kind of gets you that repetitive nature that you're talking about, like repeating that product. Okay,
Yeah.
nice. And then what? Like I know the answer, but for those that are listening that don't, why do you repeat the same video over again? Like a viral video, and you want to repeat it. Why? What's the psychology, or why do you think you do that, or why do you think it's successful when you repeat it?
So from my
Yep.
page, what I have noticed for myself is when I post a viral video, TikTok then kind of their AI or something kind of
Mm.
sees that I got a viral video. So then every video I post after that, it just kind of gets put out into the algorithm. I don't know
Mhm.
what it is, but it seems like that's pretty much every video.
Yeah. So for me, okay, so you get a viral video and a lot of people get seen, like they see that, right? It's viral, of course. What TikTok does now is it logs all those people that have viewed that video. And then if you make another video in that same topic, it'll send it to that same pool of people. So although you got some sales on that one, it takes more than one instance for someone to purchase
Mhm.
a product, right? So they see it, they see it, they see it. So if you're making like 7 videos and they get hit with all those 7 videos, it's more likely that they're gonna make this. They're gonna buy it off that 7 videos, right? So it's essentially like retargeting, right? So this person has showed some interest in viewing the video fully. Now let's hit them with more videos, with you or with other creators. I'm sure you've seen the same.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's really like TikTok's algorithm doing its thing, retargeting. But I guess a better message is the same creator, which you've watched, talking about different items, different colors, how it fits better, different situations. So it's really like retargeting that kind of makes it happen. Like, why stop at one? Like keep on going, right?
Right. Right.
Oh, cool. Cool. I love that. I love it. And then you mentioned something pretty awesome, but you have a magical hook that you use on every single video. Tell me more about that. What is your magical hook?
So I'm freaking obsessed with whatever it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
And I like to do a visual hook normally when I say that.
Yep.
So because a lot of my stuff is clothes, I'm able to really just show off the material or what I'll do is if I can't come up with a hook, I will film the whole video and then when I'm editing, I'll find a spot in the middle of my video that I feel like is going to really hook someone in, and then I
Mhm.
will bring it to the beginning of my video.
Okay. So you're talking about I am freaking obsessed as like the initial thing you say, and then you're saying there's a hook within the big video of like the material or something about it that hooks them in even further, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, cool. What are some of those things that you talk about within clothing that are that secondary hook, if you will say?
Yeah. So how it feels.
Mm,
Um, So how it feels if, sorry, I'm trying to think. Okay,
Okay.
so the feel of it,
Yep.
how it fits, if it
Yeah.
fits true to size, where or when you're gonna wear this item.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, no, those are great. It's kind of like, you know, I noticed something in your videos as well that I take away, like a lot of vibrancy and emotion, and kind of like it's like you're gossiping about the product you're talking about, or telling a best friend about the product you're
yeah,
talking about. Like, what are some mental cues to yourself, or what do you think about when you're making these videos? Are you talking to anyone in particular? What are some things you think about when you're making these videos?
yeah, I feel like I'm just talking to my friend,
Okay.
and I found really having cadence in your video, like in your voice, can help.
Mm-hmm.
Because say, I love this jacket versus I
Mm-hmm.
love this jacket. Like it's gonna hook someone more than
Okay.
just a monotone voice.
Okay, I love that. And as someone that doesn't do that naturally, how do you kind of mentally commit to doing something like that? Is that something you have to think about? Is something naturally like,
So I think now it just comes natural because when I go back to videos a year ago, it's completely different. But I've done a lot of live trainings with different communities, and I've learned how those people talk because they're very big, successful creators. So I kind of just study their page and what is working for them and then try to apply it to my page.
love it. Okay, so I mean, I am starting to make content now, right? I showed you that app that I created, and so I'm
Uh-huh.
making content for the app, and I suck. Self-admittedly suck. So like, definitely will take that piece of knowledge of like excitement, right? If you're not excited about the product, and you're not screaming it from the rooftops, if you're not, you know, like, oh my gosh, you're not gonna want to miss this, you know, if you don't have that, it's not the person who's watching is not going to receive it. So
Yeah.
anyway, that's great. So okay, cool. So you had mentioned that you saw immediate success, right? You went from, you know, it was like a rocket ship first 2 months. You're like, this is never ending. I'm gonna be a millionaire, all that stuff. And then you reach October or fall and it's not that great, right? Talk me through that moment. Like, did you feel like quitting? Did you know it was just putting in time? Like, and then, you know, that non-success turning into success. How did you get there?
Yeah, I didn't feel like quitting, but I want to say when I first started TikTok Shop, it was not to make money because I
Yeah.
wasn't in it for the money. So I didn't stress myself out.
Okay.
I wasn't making money. So I think that kind of helped me continue because I wasn't putting so much stress on myself. And then Black Friday happened and my sales picked up in November and December. And then come January, it was a nightmare because my account got hacked twice.
Oh no, tell me about that. What happened?
So I got an email that said about doing the verification for
Yeah.
TikTok.
And you're like, I didn't log in.
Yeah, no, it was in my email. You could apply to be like the blue check mark.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
So I clicked on it and I did all the stuff. And then the second I got something to my phone for the code, I knew it was almost immediate. I was like, it was a complete nightmare
Oh no.
because it's very hard to get a hold of anyone at TikTok Shop if you're at TikTok if you don't have any contacts.
Yep.
So I spent 10 days working on getting it back. And
Okay, but
then
you got it back.
I did get it back. I don't even know. Honestly, I prayed so much about it. I was like, God, if I get my TikTok shop back, this is meant to be.
Yeah.
Like honestly. And if I don't, then it's not something I need to be doing.
Yeah.
So I got it back the day before the blackout happened. And then the blackout happened. I had it back probably for 6 hours and it got hacked again.
Okay.
Because they forgot it was TikTok's fault. They forgot to change something in the security in the back end that
Right, where
allowed
they get it.
to get back in.
Okay. Okay. So you had, okay, that sounds horrible. You're like rolling, Black Friday, getting great. All of a sudden you get hacked, trickery. People are just like, will make money where they can. And okay, so now you have your account back, and how are those first videos when you get back? Like
It,
what else are you feeling?
yeah, it was hard for me to get back into the swing of things because I went 2 weeks without I made a backup account, but it wasn't the same. So it took me a couple weeks to get back into the swing of things. And then I was doing some product research and I saw this jacket and I was like, okay, no one is promoting this right now.
Okay.
And it's with a well-known company. It was from Evolus. And that's who I originally went viral with back in August. So I had a relationship kind of with them already. So I reached out to them, asked them if I could get a sample.
Yeah.
They sent me it and I made a video, and that video blew up.
Went right. Nice. Okay. So, and then it's been clear sailing ever since?
No. Then in March, my account actually got suspended because when it got hacked in January, they sent a request to get my TikTok shop suspended so the hacker couldn't access anything, but they only applied it in March.
Oh, so it's like a retroactive banning.
Yep. So I didn't have it for 3 weeks then. So from April till now, it's been good.
Better. Okay. So these are important pieces. Like, I don't think a lot of people hear about like these hacking things that happen and how to get around it. I would say, like, if you were to go back and tell yourself a piece of advice so that this wouldn't happen again, or to prevent it from happening, like, what would you tell yourself?
To always check the email that you are receiving, because there's a lot of fraud.
Okay. Be highly skeptical of every single piece of email that you send, right? And just assume it's a fraud.
Yep. And TikTok will always have a blue check mark behind their email. And if anything is from Gmail, I do not click, I do not respond, nothing.
Okay. Well, all right. So I'm glad you got over that big hump. And then, I'm sure, like you said, you're kind of grateful and thankful, like you got through those moments. So it sounds like your kind of tough moments come from, things outside of your will. But were there any tough moments where like you were creating videos and like it wasn't great, or you kind of been fortunate enough that like your content creation is, turned into wins?
Yeah, I think I've just really always had something go viral every month.
Great.
That's been making me sales. Now it's more frequent, but what I did change was it July? I think it was July. It was the tiniest thing I changed in my videos. I put my stats in every single one of my videos. So like my height, my weight, my size, and what size I was wearing, because I found my biggest pet peeve when I was watching people's videos is when I was watching it and they would not say what size they're wearing. Because it's so frustrating as a consumer, because you want to get the right size. No one wants to return stuff. So just putting those metrics up.
Yeah.
And maybe it's something else, but my sales skyrocketed.
Okay. I love that. It's just, I mean, that's a huge piece of information, right? If you're doing fashion, right, especially, and there's, size and weight of a video you see and you don't know what that size and weight is, it's like you're just guessing at that point. But having that information up front kind of checks that box of like evaluation of a product. Like, wait, okay, that's exactly my size, or maybe I'm a little bit bigger, a little smaller, like this would fit me, right? And they can make their choice. Okay, cool. This actually goes into like the next segment of like what's working for you right now. You mentioned before the hook of like, I'm freaking obsessed. And then now you're saying, okay, adding your measurements and height and weight and size. Anything else? Like, what else do you kind of have in your videos that you feel is like key to your success?
So I don't want to say in my videos, but I've learned doing product research is very important, and having on trends and products early before they blow up. So typically, if I like to start selling something, depending on what company it is. But some companies, if they have 5 sales, I'll still sell them because sometimes I can kind of just tell something's gonna go viral.
Okay.
But typically, if something's between 1,000 and 50,000 units sold, I can tell that it's starting to pick up, but not too many people are promoting it yet.
Yeah.
So those are the ones that I will promote. I don't like promoting ones that have hundreds of thousands of units sold because there's so many videos out there already.
Okay. So you're at this page. So like my developing hypothesis on TikTok Shop affiliates, right? There's the beginner stage, there's the medium and more advanced. You're obviously in the more advanced stage, right? And what makes sense for you at this point is like not competing in an already crowded space because that piece of the pie is a little bit smaller, right? And so what you want to do is try to forge a new space, a new product with something that doesn't have that much sales. It's got some sales, but it hasn't blown up yet, right? According to your experience, and you only know that, right? So you're using your previous experience, your previous knowledge on products and what does blow up, and taking a look at stuff that hasn't blown up quite yet, and be that difference maker on how it blows up, right? And so that's a pretty cool spot that you're in. It's good that you figured it out too. And now it's like it's just an equation now. You know what the equation is. Like, hey, if I get something in this characteristic of a product, if I have 1,000 to 50,000 units, I think that's what it was, 1,000 to 50,000 units, and I make a video about it, it's likely for me to blow up. But I guess on the other side of that, that's a lot of products that you probably need to make videos for. How do you find the time? Or like, I'll do a lot of them flop. Are you okay with that? Like, what are your mental thoughts on that?
So getting in sample, like I feel like where a lot of people go wrong is ordering too many samples.
Yep, sample hell.
I'm guilty of it, but
it's hard not to.
Yeah, but I feel like if you are from my experience, posting in fashion, that's where I get the most views and the most sales.
Yep.
So that's where I try to stay in. That's what coming 2026, I'm really just going to do fashion because I feel like I'm kind of wasting my time posting other content.
Yep.
Because I know it's not going to go viral. So sorry, what was your question?
Just kind of like what's working like right now.
Yeah. And I do want to say I do post, I think ahead. I'm not posting for now. So right now I'm starting to post. A couple weeks ago I started posting for January. So like January, I'll start posting spring break stuff because from what I noticed,
a season ahead.
Yeah, because what I noticed is sometimes it can take a couple months for your stuff to get going, and then it's going to be in the algorithm by the time spring break comes up or summer comes up or when
Yeah. So what you're saying is, especially in fashion, seasonality comes into play, right? And you don't want to be posting about summer stuff within summer. You want to be posting it a season ahead so that TikTok can, put it in its algorithm and it could, do its thing and post it when it's the time of the season, right? You're not wasting time or you're not letting it marinate while you're in the season, right? Because that's too late at that point. Okay, cool.
Yep. And then also batch filming really works for me.
Nice. What do you mean by that?
So my son goes to preschool 2 days a week. So I have 3 hours to myself where I can just crank out videos. And I like to, because I don't like filming when my kids are home because they're loud and I just want to be present. But so in those 3 hours, I will pump out as many videos as I can because then I can post them throughout the week, not have to worry about filming. Sure, every now and then I'll just plop up my camera and film, but for the most part, that chunk of videos is going to last me then till the next week.
Okay, so you in those 2 days or those special hours, like maybe less than 10 hours, you try to crank as many recordings as possible. So talk me through that editing process. Like you have all these batches of videos, like how do you go about editing that large batch of videos?
I just edit and post.
Okay.
I don't film and then edit and just let it sit in my drafts. I just film everything in my drafts, and then before I'm going to post it, then I'll edit it. Sometimes I will edit I'll get like ahead of editing, but that's not common because I feel like editing takes longer than me to film.
Yeah. Is there a way, like, speaking like, is there a way to improve that? Like I've heard other affiliates hire editors, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe doing it like, I mean, it's easier to edit while you're with your kids, or like, maybe passing the time, waiting them for pickup. Like any ways to improve that editing time, you think?
Yeah, I feel like just on downtime, like if my kids are watching TV or they're playing really good, then I can just edit.
Yeah,
or
just find those moments.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. What about data? Taking a look at, do you look at TikTok's back end? Are you a big data person? Taking a look at like where the drop-offs are, retention rates, anything like that?
I don't really look at my analytics. I look at my commission, my daily commission, and those analytics, and I kind of just learned how to read the commission
dash
analytics.
Yeah, I mean, you already have a system that's working for you, right? You already have a style that you are tried and true, and it's worked since day one. So I think looking at analytics maybe is more those trying to figure out why they're not successful on TikTok Shop, right? But again, if you have something that's working for you, it's like, why do I need to analyze what's working for me? I'll just do the same thing if it feels natural, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Well, yeah, good for you. Not a lot of people want to get to where you're at, right?
Yeah, but I do want to say, I mean, I have a lot of friends who are struggling to even get views, let alone sales. And I think if you're really motivated and knowing what you can make on TikTok Shop, I think is a big motivator for a lot of people. But I think too, if you're not seeing sales in one niche, that sometimes you just need to pivot, because fashion isn't going to be for everyone. Home's not going to be for everyone, so you kind of just have to learn what works for your page and what you enjoy, and kind of just tweak things. I always tell my friends, like, try something for a week or two max. If it's not working, then pivot.
Have you had friends that where they're going one way and you gave them a piece of advice and they turned it around and now they're selling well?
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, I have a couple close friends from TikTok, and we kind of just bounce ideas off of one another. And I mean, sometimes something I do or recommend, they'll be like, "Nah, that doesn't work for me," But I think too, where I feel like educating yourself a lot about TikTok is going to help you tremendously. I mean, I'm in 3 different communities. So I listen to lives when I'm in the car, when I'm going on walks, when I'm working out, just to take all that information in and then apply it. And I think that has really helped me see success, because I'm learning from those who are very successful.
Currently successful. And I think a little bit of what you said earlier, right? So right now, you're just taking in a lot of information. Your habit is to understand what's popping on TikTok Shop today, right? Whether it be someone that someone in a live that you're in, or other TikTok Shop videos. And then now it became the time of like testing those, styles out. And then, once you find a style that hits, then it's like, okay, let's double down on that. Like what you said before, like remaking all this stuff. So it's really like taking information, creating content in that vein of information, and then kind of following where the sales happen and where the views happen. Is that correct? Okay, cool. I love it. Okay, so we're approaching the rapid fire round, the end of the podcast here, but I will a handful of questions here and then just answer the best that you can. So how much GMV have you generated as a TikTok Shop affiliate?
I hit my 2 million at the end of November.
All right, $2 million on TikTok Shop as an affiliate. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So what are like one or two decisions that you think got you there? Like, what are one or two things that you did that kind of would you say that hey, that's probably why I got to that amount.
I think commitment and believing in myself and not caring about what other people think. I think that's a big thing when people start doing TikTok shop. They're worried about, well, what's Tom, Dick, and Harry gonna say about me?
Yeah.
Ultimately, it doesn't matter because they're not. I feel like scared money does not make money,
Yep.
you know,
Love it.
and I feel like most people don't make this type of money because they are scared of the what ifs
Right. Yeah,
or
I love it.
just taking risks in life. I think is a big part of why a lot of people don't succeed because they're not taking risks. And sometimes you can't just order samples. Sometimes you have to buy.
Okay, if you really like the product.
Yeah, because things that are for samples, a lot of people are going to be promoting those. Where things that you have to purchase, less people, majority of the time, less people are going to be promoting because they have
Right.
to buy it, you know?
Right.
But
Right.
I get it takes some time to get to be
To
able
figure where that is.
but yeah.
Cool. So I know you're mainly in the clothing niche, but what are some like top products, like top one or two products that come to mind that you're really like this really did me well?
The Blissy Mulberry Silk Bonnet.
Okay.
That one went viral because I had a very controversial hook.
Yeah. You gotta tell me what that hook is now. You can't let me know.
I said, this is for all the white girls.
Okay.
I said, just because you're white doesn't mean that you can't be wearing, or I said, this is for all the white girls, not only black girls can be wearing mulberry silk bonnets. And then I said, and I'm mixed and I didn't even know I could wear one, which made a lot of people mad. So
Yeah.
I think that's why that video did so good. And that was my first like viral, like mega
Yeah.
viral video. So that one, and then jackets for some reason, always my top sellers are always jackets. I don't know what it is, but I can always sell a jacket.
Nice. What is one piece of advice that you wish you had when you first started?
Retargeting.
Yeah, we talked about it before. You had those individual viral moments, and only if you could make that 20 times, you'd be, that much better off, right?
And to realize that your followers aren't the ones seeing most of your videos. It's the For You
Yeah.
page. So
Right.
majority of the time, they're not seeing multiple of your videos.
Yeah, that's an important piece. That's actually something I've never really heard before, but like your followers don't see every single one of your posts, right? The majority of people are on For You pages and it gets selected. They get a fraction of what you're really posting, right? So if you post 20 videos, they're only seeing one or two, right? Or not, maybe two, right? So that's a good point. It's like, even if retargeting, some apprehensions people have are like, well, I'm posting 20 of the same video. Like, what is it going to look like? Well, more than likely, they're not going to see all 20, or like, it's not going to be
Right.
it's not as deep as you think. So, okay, I love that. I love it. What is, you're very successful. You've been successful from the get-go. What is one area that you think you can improve on? I know you mentioned focusing on the fashion niche, but like, what other area of TikTok shop do you want to focus in on, or how can you be better as a TikTok shop affiliate?
Yeah. Let's see.
I know editing might be one. I don't know, but
I think trying to manage my time a little bit more, just kind of setting those boundaries for myself. And I think I need to just get off my phone on the weekends.
Yeah.
Because now that you can schedule posts, I think that has helped a lot.
Okay. So you're saying get off your phone on the weekends as far as making TikTok shop videos, or doing distracting?
Just staying off the app completely. I took 24 hours off for Thanksgiving, and it was one of the best things I did for
mental health.
Yeah.
Okay. So something, it's like you're seeing the success and you can't help but make all these videos, and you're saying when you take a step away, it helps you a lot, right? And so it's a balance between like making a ton of videos and posting versus like taking some time dedicated away from the app. Um,
Yeah.
something I'll suggest is we reviewed our tool called Buzz IQ, right? And for me, the underlying benefit of that tool is saving you time, right? You don't have to find the viral videos, you don't have to think of the viral scripts. And so with that extra time, you can cut all that, finding
Mhm.
viral stuff and on the app and kind of focus it on your family and stuff, right? So yeah, I think getting your time back and kind of being re-energized for when that time to make videos is it's a good time.
Yeah, and to just realize that, I mean, TikTok's always gonna be here.
Hmm.
I mean, it's like if you're going on vacation, like spend that time with your family.
Right,
TikTok's
right.
always gonna be here, especially now that you can schedule your posts. Just if you're planning on going on vacation, just film ahead and edit all those so then you can just focus on that.
I love it. I love it. Okay. So last question here, but what are you most excited about right now? What does your 2026 have in store for you, or what are you excited about?
I think I'm excited to just really pivot and stay in my lane for fashion and
Yeah.
not order so many samples
Yeah.
and just do what's working for my page.
Nice. Nice. So focus in, right?
Yeah,
Focus in.
just really on what's selling for me and just retargeting those
I
products.
love
And
it.
of course finding new products that could go viral. But for the most part, just focusing on what's working for me.
Love it. Okay, yeah, that wraps it up for today's episode. Dana, so great talking with you today. Lots of gems dropped. I know a lot of people will kind of connect with your story and understand, how to kill it on TikTok Shop. But yeah, again, if you guys are listening to this podcast and like what you listen to, please leave a review and tell us how you like it. That's how we get out there and get to more people. And I'm reading all those reviews and it's been pretty awesome. I've actually gotten kind of noticed before about like being on the podcast. So like, hey, are you Ivan? I'm like, yeah, that's kind of cool to see that community grow. But yeah, if you like what Dana has to say, go ahead and take a look at her profile. It'll be in the show notes below. And Dana, any last words? Thank you so much for kind of being a guest today and sharing your story.
Yeah, all I have to say is never stop believing in yourself and what you can really accomplish because once you do accomplish it, you will be so proud of yourself for
I
not for
love it.
sticking with it and not giving up.
I love it. I love it. And then again, congratulations on all the success. I know that there's going to be a lot more coming up. So thank you for your time today, Dana, and we'll
Thanks for
catch you next
having me.
time.
Thank
All
you.
right.